I'm gonna marry a CEO. He's gonna give me his card. I'm gonna be a housewife, and he's just gonna let me be a girl all day. But yeah, that's my plan. My life plan is marrying rich. So you live in Wisconsin, you're unemployed, and your only hobby is going to TJ Maxx and buying a bunch of random shit from China. So pray tell, where the fuck would you meet this guy? Because it's not going to be at the random hometown bar that you sometimes go to on Fridays and drink Coors Banquet at.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we've got a video for you from Gentlemen's Club taking a look at a wave of modern women admitting that they are broke, exhausted, and miserable after chasing the independent life. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's jump right into the video.
Weird how I ended up as a girl who works. I don't know how that happened.
Natural result of demanding to be strong and independent. Nobody tricked her into this. She signed up for it herself.
Okay, something I feel like that's not talked about enough on this app is being single and financially how hard it is. I literally work 2 jobs. I work in sales and I teach Pilates part-time. Both of the jobs pay pretty well, but still I feel like it's so hard to stay afloat. And don't get me wrong, I like to ski. I definitely don't live a frugal life. I have a nice apartment. Never say no to plans, but how are people doing it? How are you attending everyone's bachelorette parties, everyone's birthday dinner, going on all of these trips with your friend and having leftover money to spend on yourself? Completely stopped doing my hair, so that saves some money. But truly exhausting. I just don't understand it.
She is describing the exact independent lifestyle that she was told to chase and then acting surprised it is exhausting and she's end up broke. The bill for freedom always comes due eventually.
So for all the men out there who are like, oh, women don't want to chase us anymore because they're all boss babe in their way through life and they're financially independent. Most of us are broke as fuck. Most women like myself are struggling financially in this economy. Half of my wage goes towards rent. And despite this, many women still don't want to find a man. Not because they're thriving. I'm certainly not thriving. I'm fucking flirting with financial ruin. But would rather be broke and alone than with you going 50-50, putting up with your bullshit and giving us the bare minimum. We are over it.
She just confirmed every point men have been making and then framed being broke and alone as the prize. Choosing misery on purpose and calling it standards is a wild strategy.
Hey TikTok, I'm just on here wondering if anybody's feeling the same way I'm feeling. I'm from Illinois and I feel like the gas prices and the electric bills and the prices of food is just so overwhelming anymore. I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime and I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. It was either that or get a few groceries to get by. I hit my local food pantries. I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they're drowning. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great day.
Is the direct result of the independence that she was sold and chose to adopt herself. 2 incomes used to mean a family. Now it just means a roommate that she cannot stand. Hell, even back in the day, you could do it on 1 income.
Listen, I need a man who wants to work, okay? Who likes to work. I don't want to hear the complaints. 40-hour work shift. Boy, I know women who do that, and we do it on our periods. So genuinely, what even is the excuse? It's not... I'm not even going as far as saying, oh, you're a man, you need to build a house. But if you can build a house, if you know how to build a house, that's kind of sexy. I'm not gonna lie. The harder the job, the more attractive it is. And unless you're one of those oil miners or you're deep sea cave diving for work, I don't want you to talk about all the time how much you hate your job, how much you wish you could quit, how much you don't want to work. Because the more a man complains that he doesn't want to work, I'm like, you see, we can't be partners in this life because when it comes to the workforce, if you are the weaker link of us two, this is an issue. This is going to put us in a real bad predicament because I'm like, I'm not too thrilled about it either, but no. No.
The standards always run one direction with women like this.
Everybody wants a rich man until they find out that a rich man doesn't need you. Until they find out that rich men have options. that a rich man can pay for somebody to clean his house, for somebody to teach his kids, for somebody to pick up his kids, for somebody to drive him places, for somebody to iron his clothes, for somebody to cook his meals, for someone to spend time with, for someone to leave when he wants. A rich man has options. He doesn't have to choose to settle down. He doesn't have to choose to be with anyone. He can choose to be with as many people as he wants, to be honest with you, as many people as will have him. What you have to understand as a woman is that there are many things in this life that we want to control. I get it. We tend to be control freaks, right? We multitask. We find that things are best done the way we want, when we want. And the hardest thing for us is to give up control, which is why so many women are triggered by the idea of having to submit in a relationship. But if you want to be with a financially secure man, a provider man, you have to understand that there's a trade-off. And part of the trade-off is not only your willingness to submit in certain areas, but also the way you make him feel is why he'll keep you around.
It is rare to hear one of them say this part out loud about a rich man having endless options. She is basically warning other women that the bag they are chasing does not need them at all.
If you don't serve a purpose, which is why men ask, what do you bring to the table? Then there's no value. And you have to understand that men need to understand and equate value to things. That's why they talk about your value in the sexual marketplace. It's not roses and butterflies. You don't get to live your life like it's golden, do whatever you want, YOLO, and then forget because you decide to be a different version of yourself. Men don't operate that way. So, if you actually want to be chosen, then you have to understand what will make you desirable. And your salary, your career, and all the other things that women are fooling themselves into believing, ain't it?
Telling women to actually be worth keeping is a take you almost never hear from that side.
I'm gonna marry a CEO. He's gonna give me his card. I'm gonna be a housewife, and he's just gonna let me be a girl all day. But yeah, that's my plan. My life plan is marrying rich. So you live in Wisconsin, you're unemployed, and your only hobby is going to TJ Maxx and buying a bunch of random shit from China. So pray tell, where the fuck would you meet this guy? Because it's not going to be at the random hometown bar that you sometimes go to on Fridays and drink Coors Banquet at. You have no degree, you have no business, you have no prospects, you have no life experience in general. Let's say you go on a field trip, okay, to an area with these people, and you end up meeting one of these guys. Do you really think that he's going to pluck you? Let's say you're super, super beautiful and gorgeous, okay, which of course all these girls claim that they are, whatever, okay. That's a story for another time. So let's say that you go on a field trip to a place that is really, really populated, densely populated with these rich guys who are fuck.
Finally, someone says it plainly. You cannot meet a CEO at the same hometown bar you visit on Fridays. Oftentimes, the marry rich plan always skips the part where the rich man would actually have to want you back.
Everything. Somehow, though, my bill is always $99. And I just got an email a few days ago telling me that my plan is going to be raised by $4. So I still have a $100 phone payment. So then I was looking to change phone providers because no. But that's pretty much the price anywhere for one line. Now, if I were to sign up and get 4 lines, it would be $100. So I can pay for 1 line, which is $100, or I can get 4 for $100. Make it make sense. What the hell? So they're making it to where you cannot survive this economy by yourself. And I don't like people. So I don't want people in my space all the time. I'm living with a nightmare roommate right now, and I am miserable. So I know everybody else has got to be.
She would rather suffer a roommate she hates than admit the independent life was a bad deal. The economy is certainly real, but so is the choice that she keeps making over and over.
I know I'm not the only one that has experienced this. Some managers take their position way too serious, to the point where they're taking advantage of the little bit of authority that they have, especially the female managers. This is why you can't put certain females in certain positions that have some type of authority or gives them some kind of say, because all they're gonna do is abuse that authority. That's it. These bitches be clocking in like they fucking FBI agents, acting like they running the whole entire fucking White House. Relax. You're not the CEO. You're just the manager for this one-ass shift at fucking Target, bitch. It's retail. It was never that serious. They know they have that little bit of power and they use it to treat people like shit and fucking abuse it instead of actually leading. Half of the time it's not even about the work. It's all about feeding their whack ass, lonely ass fucking egos. At the end of the day, some managers do not manage. They just take advantage and abuse the little bit of authority they have and try to dress it up as leadership. Like, no, you're being a bitch all because you feel like you can be a bitch. And this is why a lot of managers be getting beat the fuck up and dragged through the whole fucking McDonald's store, through the whole motherfucking Marshall store. Because you're doing too much, bitch. Talk to your kids like that and treat them like that. Not me. I'm a grown-ass woman and I'm only here for 8 hours. You better watch it, ho.
It is something when a woman admits out loud that you cannot hand certain women a little bit of authority. She is describing the exact ego problem men get called sexist for even noticing.
Okay, I am really on a roll talking about these hiring managers who are partly to blame for why everyone is experiencing a labor shortage. And I think I want to add a little nuance to this now. I want to talk about women hiring managers who don't hire other women. We all know that systemically, women were oppressed and largely rejected or barred from participating in the workforce. Generally, we know that, right? However, we also know today that most of the women in companies, most of the people in companies who have the power to make hiring and firing decisions, nowadays, those are women. And I can tell you from the experience of being a woman, those women do not like hiring other women into their organizations. And they specifically do not like hiring younger women into their organizations. And they do not like hiring younger, educated women into their organizations. Ask anyone who is under the age of 35, under the age of 40 even, what they've gone through, especially ask any woman under those ages, what they've gone through in interviews, being interviewed by other women. Disappointing, sad, heartbreaking, tragic.
She accidentally completely torched the whole sisterhood myth by admitting women are the ones blocking other women. Turns out the patriarchy doing the hiring is wearing heels.
As a sociologist in training with my sociology degree, I've always held the belief that it's other women who are the missing puzzle pieces to misogyny. It's other women who have political power, who have economic, financial power, who have hiring and firing power within organizations, who are still propping up misogyny and the patriarchy. Because it's those women who either don't hire younger, educated women into their organizations, or when they do hire those younger, educated women into their organizations, they do everything in their power to drive them out, from being condescending, from being mean, from being nasty, from refusing to train them properly, from overburdening them with more work than the role or the job requires. It's insane. And before you run into my comments with your musty, dusty, not all women, or how can you claim to be for women's empowerment when you're saying these kinds of things, saying these kinds of things is women's empowerment, because part of empowerment is holding oneself accountable for one's actions. And we need to hold these women hiring managers accountable for their actions. We need to hold them accountable for being mean and nasty to younger women entering the workforce full time. We need to hold them accountable for the way they drive out talent out of the workforce. We need to hold them accountable for the way they drive out other women from industries and from entire entities and cause brain drain. We need to hold one another accountable for that, because it's very real and it happens. And you can ask any woman of really any age and they'll tell you they've experienced some kind of nastiness from another woman, most likely in their organization. And that's so sad, and it needs to stop.
Watching her ask other women to simply stop being cruel to each other is pretty funny to watch, considering, of course, none of them are actually going to listen.
I truly believe that feminism is the worst thing that's ever happened to society. And I say that with knowing the fact that I am very privileged to be able to vote and to contribute to the democracy that I live in. It literally ruined everything. It ruined everything. Because in the 1950s or 60s or whatever, you could support a family of 4, 5, 6, whatever, on one salary. You could have a house and a car and 2 cars and send your kids to school, and gas was 50 cents and all this other garbage. And now people have to have 2 income households, or Single moms are barely getting by.
She is holding her child while admitting the movement she inherited left her financially screwed. The one-income house did not vanish by accident. Women voted it away and called it progress.
Parents are barely getting by. On top of that, I'm now expected to work, which is the most trash thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Maybe I feel that way because I don't have like a big, strong career or whatever, and I'm just a server. I love my kids. I think going to work and having to be separate from them, especially my son, he's 9 weeks old now, and I have to go back to work because we need the money. We're financially screwed if I didn't, right? My theory on feminism is that it was started by actually like big corporations, and it was so that they could get more people in the workforce and they could get more people to pay taxes, and so that the rich people could get richer. That's my theory on why feminism was actually started. Call me crazy.
Whether or not the corporate angle holds, she is right that doubling the workforce halved everyone's leverage. She wanted to stay home with her son, and the system she defends will not let her. Congratulations.
I post about this when I first started posting, but if you're a feminist or anything around that, and you're still saying men should pay for everything, or, you know, men need to be the providers, you're not a feminist. And not even the slightest. I don't know how you fight for women's equality on every other aspect, but then when it comes to your partner, all of a sudden is, no, that's a man's job. He needs to pay for everything. How did we become so woke that we actually went full circle back headfirst into the fucking patriarchy? All of you that do this disappoint me immensely. And it's the worst when, like, you comment on a video, like, people are like, oh, someone would say, like, oh, surgery is just like being into patriarchy and stuff. And then there'll be comments like, just let them do what they want. And then you'll reply, like, that's low-key just, like, choice feminism. And then once I replied that, everyone just replies, what's choice feminism? Like, I just made that shit up. Like, all of you guys are fucking, like, stand up if you're a real feminist. The real ones know. Real ones know. Because when you do this, when you say that men should be paying for everything, oh, women are the prize, you know, I just want to stay home, I don't want to work, you're saying that you are like the trophy again. You're placing yourself in a situation where you're the prize and you're below the man because he's trying to get you the prize. And guess what? That same situation happened in like the 1960s when misogyny was very, very strong. You know, they fought for the women, but, you know, did they treat them like a human? No. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
She caught the contradiction that has been obvious to men for years. You cannot demand equality and a provider at the same time. Wanting to be the prize and the equal at the same time was never actually going to work.
Women are statistically less happy than we've ever been, and it's because feminism sold us a lie on what happiness looks like. If you look at a lot of these studies, there is a sharp decline in female satisfaction and life and happiness right around the 1970s, and it's just been getting worse and worse. It's interesting because feminism was supposed to make women happier, right? Going to work was supposed to make us more liberated. Being able to freely sleep around was supposed to bring us like so much fulfillment and peace, but we're finding the opposite to be true. Go around and ask any woman if she's overwhelmed or not. Like 99% of us are. There is so much that we are expected to do and be in this modern age. It used to be that our main priority was our family and our home. To bear children, raise them, love them, nurture them. That was kind of where our focus was supposed to be. But a lot of the feminists didn't like that, right? That's degrading. So we gotta actually be like men. So this pressure.
Data she is citing has been screaming this for 50 years while everyone ignored it. Working, sleeping around and all of that and chasing status was supposed to liberate them, and it has just left them empty. Who could have seen that coming?
To work and to go get a 9-to-5 and to bring in an income, that became a big part of the equation. That became a huge part of the economy. The point where now you can't really have a single income home. It's like both people need to be working. But that didn't take away women's drive and desire to have children and raise them. So now women have the responsibilities of both women and men. We are expected to have children, raise them. We are expected to also have a career, build it, bring in money, be boss babes. And we're expected to look good and stay skinny and do all of that, even more so with the pressure of social media and everything we see on it. It's insane. There is so much that is expected of us, and we kind of brought this upon ourselves. And we still think that the answer to our problems is more feminism. Isn't. It has only brought us misery, let's be honest.
She is so close to the finish line, admitting the cure they keep prescribing is the actual disease. More of the thing that made them miserable was never going to make them happy. If you would like to get early access to videos, weekly lectures, and case study breakdowns of human behavior, make sure you check out the members area link below in the video description. Otherwise, make sure to click on one of these videos on screen now if you enjoyed. Make sure you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.